I'm here, y'all. I hope you can hear me. Hey, y'all. Hold on, I'm coming. I'm almost ready. Hey, y'all. Sorry that I am late. I keep forgetting that I'm wanting to use a different device. And because of that, I wasn't ready. So that's on me. I wasn't ready. And here my IG people. So good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Welcome to Sound Off Saturday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's been a long time since I've done a Sound Off Saturday. So tell your people to come on in if they want to listen. Come on in. This is where you can get some updates on pop culture, whether it's sports, entertainment, TV, movies, politics, education, the church, etc., etc., etc. Sorry, I got all kind of stuff going on. Hey, hey, Vaj. Hey, hello, everybody on Facebook that's coming in too. I think I got the right settings going on Facebook. So if Facebook people, if you could drop a comment so I know what's what. And we can be all good and then we can get going. So listen, it's been a long time and so many things have happened. So forgive me because I'm gonna be looking up and down because my ring light camera holder I believe is broken. So I got IG here, which is why I gotta look down, and I have Facebook right in front of me. Also, I'm gonna need you to forgive my voice. Last week I participated in a community service called Feed Fauquier, which is the county that I'm in, and I went and there was easily over 50 or so people all gathered to pack meals for families in need. And so I was at a station where we packed beans and rice, and in that bag we had oats, beans, rice, seasonings, and some other stuff. And then we sealed it up and all that jazz. 2-hour gig, 2-hour event. And throughout the event, I was starting to get a little, I was doing a lot more sniffing, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe it was the dust in the air. By the time I left that event, I was having a full-blown allergy attack. I sneezed from the time I got in my car until the time I got home. Could not stop. It was nonstop. So I got home, took an allergy pill, and woke up a couple hours later, took another allergy pill. And so my point is, this is why my voice sounds like this. It was such that I didn't even go to service on Sunday. because of it. It was just bad. So forgive my voice. I am still recovering from that allergy attack that put me down. And also, I'm a teacher. And so I have to talk all week also, right? So I don't really get respite for my voice. And then I go Sunday morning and I'm the worship leader. And so the respite that I get for my voice is on Saturday. So my apologies. I've not had a chance to rest my voice, but we're going to jump right into what's going on. It's November 16th, 2024. And I know everyone wants to hear my thoughts post-election. So I'm going to share 2 quotes that go along with my thoughts. I want to give some very brief thoughts, and then I want to move on because I don't want to focus on that because I just got out of a lowly place concerning it. So this morning I watched a Netflix movie called Don't Move. Check it out if you're into like thrillers. It's about a woman, a serial killer attempting to kidnap a woman and gave her some kind of tranquilizer or something that kind of shut her whole body down for a while, and she has to find a way to escape. Very riveting. I like stuff like that. 2 quotes, and these quotes from the movie Don't Move relate to how I feel post-election. So there is a connection. The first quote, I got it on paper, is broken doesn't mean hopeless. I really like that. Broken doesn't mean hopeless. That's the first quote that hit me like a gut punch this morning. The second quote comes, actually, both of these quotes come from the guy that's playing the serial killer, believe it or not. The second quote says, I didn't lose my mind. I found my clarity. Maybe these writers be writing, okay? I know that ain't the right way to say it, but writers be writing, okay? These 2 quotes right here are a great summary to the emotions that I felt from November 5th to today. Broken doesn't mean hopeless. And I didn't lose my mind. I found my clarity. Or I found clarity. To say that it was disappointing is probably the grossest understatement I could ever make. And David Cross, comedian, actor, has a stand-up where he describes the regrets surrounding this election. So I invite you to watch that stand-up. But it was a hard week. Couple hard pills to swallow. Because while I do understand that people have their reasons for casting their votes the way that they choose, or not casting their vote at all. To me, this was not just about choosing between 2 candidates. It was a little bit bigger for me, as I suppose it was for other people, because we were talking about 2 people who were starkly different in their character and who they are. And also a person who's been convicted of multiple felonies, sexual assault, and that sort of thing. So I've moved past trying to understand why anyone would vote that way. I'm done with that conversation. I feel how I feel about it, and there's really no debating to occur. But I did feel broken. And I feel in a lot of ways that as a country, we are a little broken right now. But like this quote says, broken doesn't mean hopeless. And I didn't lose my mind. I found clarity. And I'm going to use these quotes to carry me through these next 4 years. I'm going to start by using them to carry me through the rest of 2024. because on my birthday, a person that I never thought would ever have a leg up because of what they've done will be inaugurated on my birthday, on my 45th birthday. But I'm going to use these quotes to carry me through. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't think that I want to spend a lot of time going back down that rabbit hole because it took me a while to get out of it. And it's okay. It's going to be okay because I believe in these two things. And Finn Wittrock is the star of this. Okay. Finn Wittrock is an actor who is most known for all of his roles on American Horror Story. Very similar to Evan Peters and like, what's our guy's name? Oh, it's going to come to me in a little bit. They play very scary characters, psychologically disturbed characters. And these quotes came out of his mouth. So I'm going to hold on to those quotes. And I'm going to do the best that I can do because I know that I have things to accomplish in life and I have goals and dreams. And I'm going to try my best to hyper focus on those. So that's it. I'm done about the election. Sorry to disappoint you. If you wanted me to kind of go on a rant, maybe you can. Not Sarah Paulson, Janae. What's the guy's name from Speak No Evil? He also played James McAvoy. There it is. And tip up is right there. James McAvoy, Evan Peters, and Finn Wittrock. They play these deeply disturbed, psychologically off individuals, and they play them very well. I put them in the same category. But that's it. So I'm moving on. Let's keep rolling. Go watch that David Cross stand up though. David Cross. I want to go back to, nope, I don't want to go back. I'm going to keep going straight down my list. So I didn't realize that Michael Strahan was getting some kind of heat about him not putting his hand over his heart during the Pledge of Allegiance during a public broadcast. I saw the story, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I kind of thought it was a joke and I just kind of scrolled through. But then I realized that no, this is a real thing. I realized it was a whole conversation with the network about what his punishment was going to be and all of this. Then Michael Strahan made a video about it. And I guess my question is, probably almost everything I talk about today will point right back to the election. Post this election, what difference does anything make anymore with what a person does or says or their character? Because the majority of people who voted for someone that has the character that that person has, speaks the way that they speak, did the things that they did, why are we now saying that what somebody else does is wrong? Clearly, the moral compass has shifted. So I don't think we have a leg to stand on. Also, I see many people during the Pledge of Allegiance not put their hand over their heart. Some people stand at attention. I know it was a whole thing about Colin Kaepernick taking a knee when he did back in the day, yet the other guy that just recently came into someone's interview with his MAGA hat, I guess he received like $11,000 punishment, but yet everything's okay. So I just don't understand that. And I have seen non-Black people not put their hand over their heart. I really don't even know if it was a thing. I didn't even listen to Michael Strahan's video because I don't think it's important. I think that that's a nitpicky thing. And we are going to have a hard time henceforth now and forevermore tearing down anything that anyone does. We are. As a minister, I'm going to have a hard time doing it. As a teacher, I'm going to have a hard time doing it. And that is thanks to these 71 million people that voted for a person that had that level of character, type of character. It is what it is. So I don't know that Michael Strahan needs to apologize. let me keep rolling. I did not watch the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight last night. I have never been into boxing in any way, shape, or form. I've never been interested in wanting to see it, the clips of it, the highlights of it, the reels of it, the notes from it, the cliff notes from it. And so, no, I did not tune in. I did not even prepare to tune in. But what I did watch this go round was some of the highlights leading up to the fight. I mean, Mike Tyson is a man of a certain age now, right? I mean, you know, he's a lot older. And for him to be getting in the ring with a 20-something-year-old, 27, I guess, is how Jake Paul is, I thought was, you know, it was like a Nene Leakes moment for me. Like, that's a lofty thing to do. But also knowing what I know about Mike Tyson from different documentaries or biopics that have been done about him. You know, besides, he also was convicted of rape, sexual assault. So I'm not somebody that's like clapping and cheering for someone like that. But all of his stories have always been that he has this crazy killer instinct, and basically fighting is kind of what saved his life. If he wasn't a fighter, he probably would have been in prison a long time ago for murdering someone, because his temper is such that he like sees red when it's fight time. And so I guess boxing saved his life, so to speak. So I did watch these things in preparation for, and I thought, wow, you know, he's in great shape for his age, for an almost 60-year-old. I'm sure it was staged. I'm sure it was for money. I'm sure it was for publicity. Do I think that he could have beat Jake Paul? I do think he could have. Other people would argue there's no way a 58-year-old man could beat a 27-year-old. I don't know that. I don't know that. Stranger things have occurred. November 5th is an example of that. I'm going to keep plugging that in, whether people want to hear it or not. November 5th is an example of that, right? That stranger things could occur. But also, again, when I don't think you can ever underestimate someone's determination. It's just like some people beat cancer, and then some people, let me rephrase. It's like some people fight cancer and come through, and some people fight cancer and it ends up pushing back too hard. And age, weight, all of that may have something to deal with it, but mindset is the number one thing that they talk about in like overcoming challenges, right? And so if your mind tells you you can do it, I guess you could do it. So I'm sorry, y'all, that Netflix was buffering. I don't know what happened to Netflix. I mean, they've held multiple live events before. So I'm pretty surprised they're having that problem. If you're just joining, welcome, welcome, welcome. I do see a couple comments. If you are just joining, I did make a disclaimer about my voice. I am recovering from a major allergy attack that put me down last weekend. So much so I didn't even go to church, which is a big deal for me. So if you hear this extra raspiness, I'm trying to push through. Teacher. So here we are. Anyway, so that's enough on that. Jamal Bryant and Dr. Carrie Turner tied the knot yesterday. Ooh. Sorry, my nose is itching. Yesterday? I'm assuming yesterday. And he wore green, she wore pink, which I think is hilarious. She's an AKA, like I am. I just thought that was pretty funny. Pastor Jamal Bryant is someone that people love to hate or hate to love, however you want to say it. But one thing that I will say about Jamal Bryant is I think that he is a great leader. I think he's great at what he does. I think he is a strong leader for, justice, equality, diversity, equity, inclusion. So he's a great social justice advocate. And I don't know much about Carrie Turner. I didn't really learn who she was until people started talking about them dating. And then I kind of started to follow her and pay attention to her. And she has just as big of a personality as he does. I hope that they have a great relationship. Jamal Bryant is becoming one of my favorite people because, again, I think that we have to resolve that people may have their own issues and proclivities. Jamal Bryant definitely speaks about the mistakes that he made with his previous marriage to Giselle Bryant from the Potomac Housewives, and his infidelities and things like that, and his radicalism and, all different types of things. But I just don't think, I think everybody has their something, right? Everybody has something. Nobody's perfect. And so I told one of my best friends this the other day on the phone, and I'm going to say it here, and people going to clutch your pearls when I say it. If people overlooked Dr. King's womanizing for the benefit of the bigger movement, then I think Jamal Bryant is one of those people we have to let go of that stain about him also. Does that make sense? And I'm certainly not trying to taint Dr. King's legacy, but it is well known now, as with many other people, that people have these things. Nobody's perfect. It's hard to martyr anyone. But if we're looking for people to carry on the torch and champion the cause, I think Jamal Bryant is a great person for that. And he is doing the work. And so I hope that he and Dr. Turner have a great relationship. I think that he has matured. And I hope that that carries them very far. They have some big personalities, the two of them. But it's looking good on them so far. So shout out to them and their nuptials. Staying with the church, Twinkie Clark turns 70. The Twinkie Clark, Elbernita Clark. Twinkie Clark is the blueprint for ensemble type singing and so many other things. We all know that her mother, Dr. Mattie Moss Clark, was very instrumental in choir music, choral music, teaching parts, different types of harmony. Her influence in the Church of God in Christ, the same Church of God in Christ that wanted to kick her out for supporting her daughters, including Twinkie, being on secular type shows, singing, being on TV. The same Church of God in Christ that shunned Denise Clark Bradford for having babies before she was married. The same Church of God in Christ that now Bishop J. Drew Sheard and Karen Clark Sheard are the leaders of the. Ooh, I love when something go full circle like that. So Twinkie Clark is amazing. She is my favorite Clark sister, always has been. But she deserves this celebration in such a big way. Damian Sneed, who is a well-known musician, composer, artist himself, pulled together this huge event, as my friend Crystal saying in the comments, trying to do like a Kennedy Center type thing for her because she deserves that and more, right? And so I saw a couple clips, but not much. I know it was live, but I didn't really watch it. But Twinkie Clark deserves all the flowers. Hey, Mike, all the flowers, all the accolades. She deserves apologies from multiple people. And she deserves to live out the rest of her days just getting residuals. I just want Twinkie Clark to be doing whatever she wants to do. I mean, whatever she wants to do. If she wants to pat her head like this all night and all day and put her feet, if she wants to put her feet up on top of the organ, if she wants to sing with her stomach out like this, leaning back, if she wants to growl, if she wants to travel, Twinkie Clark deserves it all. There will be no Clark sisters without Twinkie Clark. And I know the Clark sisters are from Dr. Maddie Moss Clark, their mother. But what I am saying is Mama and Twinkie created the Clark sisters. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And so I hope that the world treasures her. That is a shame what I see in the comments, Crystal, that people didn't show up like that. That really is a shame. I don't know what it is. But sometimes people don't recognize the talent that's right around them, right? Sometimes when you're homegrown, I don't think Detroit people appreciate the Clark sisters, the way that the rest of the world appreciates the Clark sisters. We often don't. We don't always acknowledge our own, the way that the rest of the people acknowledge it. It just is what it is. It's like living here in DC now. I don't think about the fact that people travel from all over the globe to come to Washington, DC to see the monuments. Those monuments are like 50 miles away from me, right? There's a quote, I think, that says familiarity breeds complacency. That's the quote. And so I think people just are used to Twinkie as Detroit. And Detroit is a place where the gospel music industry and music period is so saturated with unbelievable talent that we just, I don't know. We often forget. Anyway, let me keep going, staying with Detroit. Lisa Page Brooks. I know I'm late talking about this, but Lisa Page Brooks, who is another gospel artist, but definitely one who is underrated. She was married to, spoiled is the word, Crystal. She was married to Michael Brooks. Lisa Page Brooks has been in groups. She is the mother of Tasha Page Lockhart, Commission. I think Witness is the group she was in. Detroit folk know Lisa Page Brooks, but she went viral to the whole world, coming down the steps singing about the devil being a liar. Yeah. And that was the day after, or either the weekend after, and the first gig that she had since her husband died. And I just came to say Lisa Page Brooks deserves all the flowers. Lisa Page Brooks has been killing the game for years. But sometimes even people who are really good and really great don't get the shine, don't get the recognition. And again, Detroit is a heavily saturated, the Winans is a heavily saturated area filled with amazing and incredible people. And sometimes it's hard to, break out and be that person, but I'm so glad to see her get her recognition, because what it's made people do is look up her music and pay attention to her, right? In a way that people had not done before. Dang, I wrote something right here and I don't even know what it was. If you are also just joining me, I need to repeat these quotes, because these quotes are going to keep me for the rest of 2024 and for the next 4 years. Broken doesn't have to mean hopeless. Put that in your pocket. Broken doesn't have to mean hopeless. And I didn't lose my mind. I found clarity. Those are the quotes I'm going with post-election that are going to carry me through the rest of this. It is. And I do not have the desire to argue with people. I don't have the desire to understand how anybody could vote for someone who's been a convicted felon multiple times, sexual assault included. I don't have the bandwidth for that. I don't. I don't. It is what it is. I'm just gonna be over here protecting my peace, protecting my pocket, minding my business, doing what I need to do to finish up. I got some things I'm working on, finish those things up, and that's all I can do. That's all I can do. Let's talk about music right quick. Glorilla. Glow dropped the album, baby, and got the whole world shook up. What do you want, Taylor? That. Mm-hmm. Just that. The conditioner in those brown bottles. The same bottles, but with that brown strip around it. Either one. Sorry. Taylor asked me about shampoo stuff. Glorilla, Crystal. Glow. She is a rapper from Memphis. And this album got people going crazy because Kiki Shear's on the album, Kurt Franklin's on the album. Her government name is Gloria Hallelujah. Just so y'all know. Glow is what everybody call her. Glorilla, like Meg Thee Stallion, Cardi B, all someone who's found some newfound fame. A lot of people like her because her accent's super strong. I think she just is a real kind of seems down to earth type person. But this album she just put out got all the aunties cutting up. And by aunties, I don't mean like people my auntie's age. I mean people my age, because we the new aunties, I guess, because we in our 40s. But Glow has all the aunties cutting up on these internet streets and dancing to these songs and all of this. And I think it is, I think it's hilarious. Especially the people who get mad at gospel artists for collaborating with non-gospel artists. I thought we was over that. I thought we was over that. I thought we had moved on from that. When y'all was mad when Nicki Minaj collaborated with Tasha Cobb, I thought we was over like being mad about people collaborating. And again, post-election, keep putting this in your pocket. We can't get mad no more. Anything goes. Anything goes right now. Anything goes. We can't get mad. The moral compass, and I'm not saying out individuals, but the moral compass here in the United States of what we can judge of what a person did or said or participated in, engaged in, thought about, hosted, it has shifted. It has shifted. It has shifted. We have an attorney general. We have someone that has been appointed that still has to pass through the review committee. But we have someone named Matt Gaetz who was appointed to be the attorney general of the United States who slept with a 17-year-old as a grown man. And it is well known. So we're going to have a hard time. We're going to have a hard time. So yes, Glow got the aunties in full effect. Everybody jumping, everybody hollering and doing all that they do. Because Gloria Hallelujah, I guess she really did her big one on this. I haven't heard the whole album, but I have heard a couple songs. And they all right. They all right with me. They all right with me. All right. So I'm looking at my list of things. Oh, I want to talk really quickly about people who do food promos or food review videos. Let's talk about these. There are 3 people that are top food reviewers for me. I'm on food reviews now. There are some people that are top food reviewers for me that I would pay attention to. In no particular order. Keith Lee, Tim Schropp Comedy, and Mr. Chime Time. Okay. And for those of you who may not know, because I cannot forsake that anyone that people don't have the information, food review videos are when people go places to eat food. Oh, and Stefan voiceovers. Tim Schrock is his name. You know him, Crystal. That's the one. He's an Aggie, North Carolina A&T. His name on Instagram and Facebook is Tim Schrock Comedy. Tim Schrock Comedy. But food reviews is when people go places that people recommend and then they do reviews online and let us know if we should eat there or not. So I'm going to name the people again because I forgot. Stefan does voiceovers. You need to check out Stefan voiceovers. That man is incredible. He has a really deep voice. He's actually done a lot of commercials and stuff that I didn't really know it was him. His name is Stefan. And if you just put in Stefan voiceovers, he'll pop up. Very dark-skinned, handsome man, wears glasses. Then we have Tim Schrock. He is a North Carolina A&T Aggie grad, and he is hilarious. Kind of a heavier set guy. He does stand-up comedy also. Mr. Chime Time, who is from North Carolina. He was the one that spent a lot of time in Detroit, was saying how much he loved Detroit, all of that. And then Keith Lee, who of all of them, Keith Lee is probably the most well known. Okay. Yeah, his name is Tim Shropshire is his whole last name, but his tagline is Tim Schrock Comedy, which is why I said that. So when people do these food reviews, obviously there's a comedic element in it most of the time. All the ones that I named, they all have a comedic element in it. Sometimes except Mr. Chime Time. Sometimes he's like real super serious. Has a serious element in it. But also it's just this is what I think about the food. This is what I'm describing. Go taste it for yourself, right? And so I'm still puzzled by the people who get so upset about these reviews. I mean, if your fried chicken don't got no flavor, it don't have no flavor. I don't know what to tell you. Because in good ways, this could bring attention to your establishment or your business. And you got to let people find out for themselves. And then in some other ways, there are some businesses that need to be called out. Yeah. Some people are out here doing bad business and not having really good food, but people still just standing 10 toes down because who it is. And I said this before, I'm going to use the Old Lady Gang as an example. I am a Kandi Burruss fan. Kandi's a great producer, musician, director, songwriter. I think she's a pretty good singer. She's obviously an incredible businesswoman. I liked her on The Housewives. I think her mom and her aunties can sometimes be funny. But when I went to Old Lady Gang in Atlanta and I went to the location that's closest to the Mercedes-Benz, is that the Dome in Atlanta, the arena. If I was rating the food that we had on our table, I'm giving it 1 out of 10. I'm giving it 1 out of 10. The macaroni and cheese had pimento in it, and I'm not a fan of pimento. And I was shocked out of my skin. Maybe I didn't read that description well enough on the internet. On the menu. The best thing that was on this table were these wings we had, these appetizer wings that were slathered in sauce. I should have ordered 4 more orders of those wings before I left. That was the only thing that was good. I didn't care for the macaroni and cheese, didn't care for the greens. We had catfish at the table. Corey had shrimp or grits. I think the girls had some different type of fish and some other chicken. The fried chicken was all right, but I would have gave it 1 out of 10 too. So again, I'm like, why do we get mad? Consumers have a right to share if they like your food or not. Now, Tim, you can pay Tim to come review your food. So I guess for him, he started off getting paid to do this gig, whereas Keith Lee wasn't really getting paid to do it. He might be now, but he was just doing it, and then the others not either. But I guess customer service is a tricky industry, right? Like, people are not always going to like your product, and they have a right to share that they don't like your product, because that doesn't mean people like me, who I'm such a foodie, I'm probably going to go there anyway and get the food. Foodies are still going to go get the food because we want to know ourselves. Unless it looks really bad, then I'm definitely not going. But I'm still like puzzled by the amount of people that get upset about these people doing the food reviews. Crystal, my friend Crystal put the Facebook links for Tim Shropshire Comedy and Mr. Chime Time. Stefan does voiceovers is the other one, Crystal. And then who else did I say? Why am I missing somebody? Oh, Keith Lee. So anyway, I would hope you would want people like this to come review, because these are people that people follow and we listen to them and we like their reviews. So I would hope everybody will be begging them, come check out my spot. Unless you don't have good food, then I guess you wouldn't want them to come. Right? I guess you wouldn't want them to come. Anywho, that's my bit on people being mad about food reviews. So I'm going to circle back to the election, because I want to say that I saw a lot of people posting videos about keeping your peace and, tuning out the noise, turning off the news and things like that. And I think that there's a balance, right? I think that it is important to be in the know, because part of not being in the know is why we are in the situation we're in. We haven't always done the best job of having policy conversations and political conversations in our community, as in the Black community. And therefore, when it comes to our understanding of how things just kind of work, we're often confused. And because of that, sometimes we make the choices that we make. And so you can turn off everything if you want to, but still be aware. Pay attention to whatever source it is you use to get your news. But just make sure that it's accurate. Make sure that it's not just fear-mongering, random things that people are spouting out that aren't true, so that you don't sit somewhere in the basement rocking and scared about something that might not even be actual or factual. Right? Right. So I have, oh my goodness, I got 10 minutes left. And I've covered everything on my sheet. Please go watch the David Cross stand-up. Please do. David Cross, I want you to watch what he has to say about the election. That sums up my feelings. I got 10 minutes left. Y'all can throw out something you want me to say. Something you want me to talk about, something you want me to say. It's crazy. Something you want me to talk about. The Lions are doing amazing this season. Y'all know I'm excited about the Lions. I'm from Detroit. I don't understand why people no, don't hop on the Lions bandwagon now. It's from where I used to live. I'm not some rando that has no ties or connections to Detroit. So that's a weird thing. I lived in the DMV. I'm going to root for the Commanders / Washington football team / probably soon to be Redskins again. But I'm also going to root for the Lions because that's where I'm from. Just like I root for the Pistons because that's where I'm from. I might root for Washington, but I don't like their basketball team. But I think it's weird that people even care. Oh, Crystal, what are you saying? Choir music is coming back. Listen to Mississippi Mass Choir new projects. That's exciting. I'm excited about that because even though I love Ricky Diller, and to me, Ricky Diller is the, better choir at this time, that music cannot be done by all choirs. versus Mississippi Mass is going to be an all choir type of gig. And then Kevin Lemons, unfortunately, God rest his soul, left us. He had choir music too that everybody could do. They had some things that were hard, but for the most part, he had music that all choirs could do. So I'm excited about that choir music. I knew it would come back. I'm gonna spare people's I'm not gonna spend today, because I don't have enough time, talking about CCM versus traditional gospel music. Because people have a lot of feelings about that. But I knew choir music would come back. I knew it would come full circle. Just like I see on Facebook, I see people inquiring, where are just the regular churches that just love people, might have ushers, might have Bible study, that just genuinely care about people, that got the grandmas with the candy in the purse. And I'm going, ooh, are we making a circle back? Are we leaving churches that have movie theater seats, that have the lights off and that have fog machines and different things? Are we circling back? Are we circling back to something that is more of a community? I know there's a lot of opinions and trauma centered around traditional church, but people know when something is genuine and when something isn't. So seems like we're circling back on a lot of things. Very interesting. Well, anyway, listen, I'm not going to hold y'all. It is getting close to the holidays. It's getting close to Thanksgiving. For those that celebrate Thanksgiving, turn the lights on, Crystal. Turn them on. Turn them on. Turn off that fog machine. And put some paper Bibles in the pews. I got my Bible on my phone too. But put one of these in the pews, so just in case I want to flip through the pages and I want to feel it, that I have that option. I digress. The holidays are coming around, and I'm excited. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. Does that make me sacrilegious because I didn't say Christmas as a Christian? Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday because I'm a foodie. And so, yes, Crystal, as I did before, I'm going back. I'm circling back and doing the holiday food, just like I did the holiday movies. So look out for that. Look out for that. I'm going to have, StreamYard has a lot of new things. They got these new intro videos I can create and all this stuff. So I'm going to be doing a lot for that, for the holiday food and all that. I can't wait. Next Saturday, I think we have a wedding to go to. So I might have to adjust my sound off Saturday time, because I want to do one before Thanksgiving, but I also want to do one before Christmas, because the conversation of, are you supposed to have Thanksgiving food again for Christmas, always comes up. So I got to make sure that I do that. But the holidays are coming up, and I hope that people don't get to Thanksgiving fussing and cussing with your folks. Get some food and then go home. Get some food and go home. Hold your peace. Speak your peace. I'm not telling you don't ever speak up and say, speak your peace. Stand on business. And then get your food and leave. Because there are some people that you're never going to convince that water is wet. It just ain't going to happen. So it ain't no point you fussing and cussing and losing your peace and running your blood pressure up after you already ate a few slices of ham, which already put your blood pressure up. Arguing with folk, don't do it. Don't do it. Do not do it. Don't do it. I experienced a little arguing on Thanksgiving last year. I don't know if I shared that with y'all. I had some arguing with a family member, a distant cousin that no one knows on here. So all of that, I don't want to do that again. I won't do it again. But that was pretty funny. It was pretty interesting. It was very interesting. Very. So I'm about to go make some Rotel dip. Is that what it's called? It's called Rotel dip, right? Which is confusing because Rotel comes in the can like already. But I'm about to go make some Rotel dip because it's been a minute. We made some last year for New Year's Eve, and the kids love it. And my niece loved it. She was here because she was watching the kids while we went to service. But when I look online, Crystal, when I look on Pinterest, when I put in Rotel dip, multiple recipes come up. So maybe it's Rotel dip if you use the Rotel mix, and maybe if you don't, it's just called queso dip. I don't know, but I know for mine, I do, of course, the ground beef. I do the various cheeses. I do the Rotel mix, which is the tomato and the chilies together. I do red onion. I do regular onion and green onion, and all that jazz. And it's delicious. So I'm about to go make some of that. We made some banana bread earlier. And I might drink some tea to try to nurse my voice so that I can be back tomorrow, Sunday morning worship, stronger and better. Yep, I'm about to make some in my nice fondue pot. Oh man, that thing is amazing. That thing is amazing. I might have to buy another one. Anyway, y'all, I hope y'all have a good rest of your week. Or I hope you have a good start to your week. Tomorrow's the first day of the new week. Although it's Sunday, I know people think about it as Monday, but I hope you have a good start to a new week. I hope you do something mindful tomorrow, like go to worship, mind, your spirituality, your body, your peace. Do something, because we're going to need all the peace we can get so that we make better choices going forward. All right. So I will talk to y'all later. And thanks for hanging out with me today on Sound Off Saturday. Holiday show coming up. See y'all later. Bye.